Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas season 9, episode 9, Return to Cinder. Let's get into it. So Andy goes over, Zach and Fatima are talking. Fatima's in a good mood. She ended up making him breakfast. So he basically talks to her about the conversation, or attempts to tell her about the conversation she had about anything she wanted to get off her chest about Karen and the Zach hospital situation. And before she could say what she had to say, she got interrupted by a phone call. It happened to be Chaz Duncan calling her. And he was saying like some, I would say, smart remarks, but Zach was like, make sure you let him know that I'm on the phone with fiance. So she was like, I'll basically call you back later. So yeah, cool. So he feeling some type of way. Then she was like, I gotta get ready to go to work, and she didn't believe him. Andy shows up at Karen's house, basically telling her about the whole lawsuit, telling her about how Dr. Cruz been doing this for years, and how Andy's friend that she went to law school with, he she basically bled out, and she basically wants to get justice for Karen, but Karen feels as if that's not going to help, but it's just not going to bring her child back. But at the same time, it may not help her, but it may help other people that's going to be in that same situation. So it's kind of like bringing awareness to what a already bad situation. Like, granted, a loss is a loss. You can't bring that back, but to better help somebody in the future is always a good thing. So yeah, Cameron was not about to hear that. So by this time, Andy makes it to work and she sees flowers on her desk. She automatically calls Dr. Vaughn, and she assumed that they was from him, but it wasn't. And he was like, "Did those flowers make you happy?" She was like, "Yeah." Then after they got off the phone call, that he wanted to make it up to her. They wanted to basically get to know each other some more. She gets off the phone with him, and she opens the card and realizes it's for Fatima. And then when she goes to pick him up to take it to her office, she was like, "Oh my God, these are heavy." Meanwhile, Dr. Vaughn, I didn't even notice that Karen went to her appointment, so he basically was talking to her, talking about how she felt and stuff like that. And he was like, "So how was it when you took your daughter to her appointment?" She was like, "I didn't go. My mom took her." He was like, "Listen, you need to be present in these moments because you're never gonna get them back." So basically, she told him that she's been feeling out of it and she's not herself, and he suggested that she's suffering from postpartum depression. I think that's a little bit more than postpartum depression, because even when people go through that, they still attend to their babies. Like, yeah, to a certain extent, they're a little bit hands on with their child. Right now, it's just like she put up a wall and ain't nobody getting in or out. Like, she's just stuck in limbo. So he was thinking, like, give her a brochure to check this out. There's support groups, thinking about changing the scenery, put her on medication. So she has a lot of stuff to do. She was like, listen, the only reason I'm here is so I can see what was going on, because I would never step foot in any hospital ever again. So yeah, that's that. And also, yeah. So moving forward, Sabrina, she's getting ready for work. Frank is still there, asleep on the couch. Like, she's busy calling Maurice, telling him to help her. You're a grown woman. You don't know how to tell a man to get the heck up out of your place. Like, you don't always have to be so passive. Like, be aggressive and tell you to get the heck out of your place. Like, what the heck? It's supposed to be a hit and quit, not to spend the night. Like, come on now, make it make sense. You're a grown woman. Make it make sense. Okay. So she's calling Maurice. Maurice giving her advice, and she basically don't want to take heed to what he's telling her. So she goes back in her room for something, because she ended up kicking her shoe and stuff at him, and that was helping. So she goes in her room. She comes back out. He's eating a bowl of cereal and then trying to go in her purse. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? You giving bum. Like, granted, you're an old man, but you giving bum status. He was like, we got some unfinished business to handle from last night. She was like, sorry, that's not gonna happen. Your services are no longer required, and yeah, get the heck out of my place. Get out. She eventually got him out and was like, all right, cool. Now Maurice is already at work, which is surprisingly, it's good. By this time, Paige and Sabrina, they get to work. and they look like they've been drinking mimosas all morning, all like out of it. Come to find out, Paige, she got with that dude. Okay, she was like, once you go black, you never go back. That's the kind of vibe she's feeling, and she basically had a good time with this man. They done had a lot of fun over and over again. And Sabrina and Marissa's like, yay. Sabrina, I'm sorry that happened to you, but Paige, she took one for the team, put this woman for you. Got somebody that could stand up to attention. Like, okay. Then she talk about she gonna finally start watching her meat. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's about to be something in itself. Danny, she's getting ready for work, and she starts packing her lunch. She basically tells Tony, like, what the heck are you gonna do today? Like, he's talking about how he always had a job. He's gonna enjoy enjoy his relaxing phase, but at the same time, he's talking about how he always had a job, even when he was in college. Okay, you had all that, but still, what are you doing now? Okay, ask for your job back, get some money, go to Alaska, do something. Like, you just giving me bum status right now. So after that, Danny goes to work. She's at work, whatever. She realizes she calls Tony. She left her lunch. He ain't answering at all, picking up her phone, calling up. Next thing you know, just so happens Lennon walks by. He got some white stuff on his mouth. And she was like, what the heck is that? He was like a hot dog with mayonnaise. Who the heck eats a freaking hot dog covered in mayonnaise? I can see if you put all the different toppings up there, then it's like, yes, but a hot dog with mayonnaise, ugh. And then he tried to come at her. She had to go, and she was like, listen, people in the back think you out here giving jobs. You need to go do something, clean it up. She was like, girl, it's all something. So he was like, no, no, no. So eventually he leaves to go clean her face, whatever. Then she decided, oh, she about to go see what's up with Tony because she thought Leonard thought that Tony was out there cheating on her, but that's not the case. Anyway, so she decided to leave on her lunch break and goes back home to see. I think where she works is not far from where she lives because the way she could just be up and leaving her job to go home and do all this stuff is like your job is not that far. So she gets home. Come to find out, Tony is on the game. She ends up yanking the headphones off and said, like, what the heck are you doing? She was like, I was coming calling you and texting you because I needed my lunch. She was like, the oxtails, rice, and pound cake. I was like, that sounds good too. I ain't gonna front, that sounds good. She was like, it was like, yeah, I didn't know that was yours. Who the heck is this? It's only just me and you. Like, if it ain't yours, obviously it's hers. Like, make it make sense, Tony. So next you know they're arguing, whatever. He said he's gonna repay her. Oh sorry. Oh sorry. Um he owe her meal, and then she also wants dinner. He's paying for that too. While they're doing that, next you know she hears her toilet flush. And she gonna grab her neck like this. Once this beat come out, I'm gonna give both of you because I only got an energy for this and the other. The next, you know, gonna find out it happens to be her cousin, and her cousin comes out the bathroom spraying like, "Oh my God, Tony, please don't tell Danny because I blew her bathroom up." Actually, she was still praying, and next, you know, she was like, "Yeah, Tony, you got some. Yeah, Dan, you need to just kick this man to the curb. At least with Preston, he was paying your bills, okay?" He was paying your bills for like months on end. Girl, what the heck? This man is just leeching off you at this point. You ain't never see him pay her bill, even when he wasn't staying there. Like, come on now, make it make sense. Huh. Lord have mercy. So they got into it. Meanwhile, Zach's home. He's end up looking at TV, whatever the case may be, and it happens to be a doorbell. He goes open first, like a box. Who sent this box? So he reads the card. He's like, who sends a big old box for this little bag? Then just to, also, I know I skipped the kind of part, but we're gonna well, let's stop. Okay, before we get to the box situation, Andy brings Fatima her 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 flowers, and she was like, Fatima was like, you know that guy that was talking about the contract. She's like, yeah, yeah, I was trying to tell you this, but you was busy and stuff that he. But then Hayden walks in just the nick of time and trying to say something like, you working with Hayden, and then eventually Hayden walks off, and then they have words said to each other, and Fatima was like, yeah, I'm sorry about this, but Andy basically is trying to cover herself, saying that because since Fatima don't have her license, she shouldn't be doing all this other extra work. But if that's the case, why is she always covering all your cases for you to bring them to you? Like, she don't have her license, but she be doing other stuff that's not even, I guess, for her pay grade. Does that make sense? Because now it feels like you're jealous that she's getting all this attention. That's true. When Andy was doing all them cases, she was never getting flowers and stuff like that. I guess her approach is so different. Like Fatima's always with that positive mindset. She talks to them gently and more caring and understanding and breaks it down to them. Like that's probably what people look for in a lawyer, but she ain't up there yet. So you could tell Andy was hating on her. She was like, "Oh my god, look at this room. She got edible arrangements, everything, liquor, everything." And then yeah, after that, she was like, "Next time, CC's me about everything." And then Andy was like, "What does Zach feel about that?" She was like, "Oh, he's probably fine. Everything's cool." And then she said something else to him and said something else to her. And then Fatima was like, "Want me to CC him too?" She was like, I'm sorry. Listen, Fatima, you need to stop saying sorry. Just speak your mind. It is what it is. And that's just it." So after that, Andy leaves. Hayden comes back in. And she was like, he was like, yeah, all this other stuff. And he was like, how about to take some of this for your payment? She was like, cool, you can take whatever you want. He was like, why you not gonna find me over some wine? She was like, what are you, pregnant or something? She ain't saying that. He was like, oh snap. Yes. And also while Karen was still at her appointment, Pam called her because basically Karen been in my on everybody. She hadn't really even spoken to nobody. So Pam called to check on her and see how she was doing in the baby. She was like, cool, Arizona's way to pick me up. He's always in that baby's face. He's doing what every parent supposed to do to a newborn. Smother them with love and affection. Like what the heck? Okay. Anyways, so Pam was like, and what else? And she was like, am I forgetting your birthday or something? She was like, no, you know, you always calling me about the shop, micromanagement, what's going on. She's like, all right, cool, how's that doing? Like, then she was like, yeah, you could tell she basically neglected everything that's been going on in her life. And yeah, so Pam lets her know that everything is fine, things is going well. And Pam was just like, I just want to make sure you ain't forget. Yeah, now back to the whole Zach in the box situation. After all that, he figured out the box, the package. He ended up taking it out the bag, taking out the box, setting the bag out on the table. This small little bag for a big old box. Next, you know, he's sitting on the couch watching some Chaz reels or whatever the case may be. Just so happens, Fatima calls to ask how his day is going. He was like, cool. Also, speaking of that guy I talked to, he also wanted me to know who does real estate, and I gave him your name, and he was like, all right, cool. So he said something smart, and she really didn't catch it because she was basically in this giddy mood. And he was like, "Yeah, he wanted to have a meeting with you." I was like, "Cool, set it up, set it up ASAP." And he kept saying that. It said something about a bag, and she didn't catch on to it. So he was like, "All right, cool, love you, Lori Bay. Or talk to you later, Lori Bay." She was like, "All right, cool. You're so bad. You're so silly, whatever the case may be." And yeah, that was that. Yep, it's about to be on and popping next week. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, this episode was great. A little bit late to the party, but it's all worth it in the end. Oh my gosh. So, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.